The Wittgenstein Archives at the University of Bergen in Norway is nested upon a hill. The Bergen Archives is not only a hub of international Wittgenstein research, with a special focus on his Nachlass, but also the birthplace of a digital edition of this Nachlass. This series of videos is a tutorial to help the Wittgenstein scholar to navigate the archive's website. If one searches Wittgenstein Archives on Google or looks up wab.uib.no, one will find themselves here. If we look on the left-hand side of the screen, there is a list of links. Each one of these links offers a different way to explore WAB's resources. In this first video, I will focus on the first link, Wittgenstein's source. By clicking on the link, we find ourselves here. The blank space is a sort of workspace, a tabula rasa, a canvas, upon which we are able to delve into Wittgenstein's primary sources. On the left hand of the screen, we find another list of links. Let's look at the first link first, Bergen Nachlass Edition. When we click here, up pops this browser upon the canvas. This is the list, which contains all the Nachlass edited at the Bergen Archives. That is, not only facsimiles, but also diplomatic and normalized transcriptions of all the manuscripts and typescripts within the Wittgenstein Nachlass. Let's look at an example. Take MS 114, or Manuscript 114. On the right side, we see a small m, a capital F, D, and N. These stand for metadata, facsimile, diplomatic transcription, and normalized transcription, respectively. If we click on the small m, up pops the metadata browser. This tab contains two sections, one archival notes and the other text genetic philosophical notes. The archival notes offer detailed archival information about the text at hand, authored by Wittgenstein Archive scholars and the head of the Wittgenstein Archives, Alois Pichler. The text genetic philosophical note offers notes about the content of this text, authored by esteemed Wittgenstein scholar Joachim Schulte. By pressing the link, another tab will pop up on the canvas where one can read these notes. Let's go back to the first tab. We can clear off the other two tabs by pushing the little X in the top right corner. Returning to Manuscript 114, this time we will click on the capital F. This will bring up the Facsimile tab. Here we will find digital replicas of Wittgenstein's manuscripts and typescripts. Clicking on a page will bring up a high-definition digital scan of each artifact, allowing the scholar to zoom in and examine the text with great detail. We can make more room for this tab by collapsing the other tabs by pressing the little triangle in the top left corner. Back to 114, this time let's click on the capital D. This will bring up the diplomatic transcription tab. Here we will find a list of all the remarks within a given manuscript or typescript. Each remark is cataloged according to a logical system of naming. By clicking on a certain link, we open up another tab. The diplomatic transcription is a rendition of the original manuscript or typescript with all its deletions, insertions, overwritings, etc. That is, it maintains the nuances and shorthand of the original, while the normalized transcription puts the text into a much more readable format. If we click on the capital N, this will bring up the normalized transcription tab. Here we find the same list of remarks as found in the diplomatic transcription. Clicking on a remark reveals a similar outcome as it does in the prior. As said, the normalized transcription differs from the diplomatic transcription and makes a concerted effort to lay bare or make explicit the text of Wittgenstein's notes in shorthand in its normalized form. Note that also the normalized transcription contains some of the text deleted by Wittgenstein. This pays off, for example, when studying Wittgenstein's writing process and choice of words. When in the diplomatic transcription, normalized transcription, or the facsimile rendering, by clicking on the capital N, the capital D, or the capital F respectively, up will come the respective other versions. Finally, clicking on the capital A brings up a transcription, diplomatic or normalized, of the entire item. If you want to share a remark or other part of Wittgenstein's source with a friend or cite, just click the share icon. This will give you a shareable link and persistent identifier of the resource in question. If we return to the left side of the screen, underneath the Editions tab, we will find several more items. Besides the Bergen Nachlass edition, we also find More Notes Facsimile Edition, Tractatus Publication Materials, Proto-Tractatus Tools, and Wörterbuch für Volksschulen Materials. By clicking on the More Notes Facsimile Edition, up pops this screen. The More Notes Facsimile Edition contains lecture notes written by Wittgenstein mentor and colleague G.E. Moore. These are notes of lectures given by Wittgenstein from different terms from the year 1930 to 1933. We will also find summary notes by Moore for each of these terms and set of lecture notes, as well as an essay written by Moore about Wittgenstein's usage of the term grammar, intended to be given during one of Wittgenstein's lectures. Each of these items has a metadata and facsimile link, which when clicked will bring up archival notes and replicas of G.E. Moore's handwritten notes, respectively. If we return to the menu at the left side of the screen, the third item is the Tractatus Publication Materials. By clicking here, we bring up another menu. Here we find 4 items. The first is a print of the original publication of Wittgenstein's Tractatus in the Annalen der Nature und Kulturphilosophie. This was sent to Wittgenstein by C.K. Ogden, and this material contains written notes and corrections by both Wittgenstein and Ogden. It also serves as the basis for C.K. Ogden's bilingual translation of the Tractatus. The next item is a translation of the Tractatus by student of Wittgenstein, Frank Ramsey. This facsimile contains handwritten notes by Wittgenstein as well as Ogden. The third item is a questionnaire sent by C.K. Ogden to Wittgenstein concerning the translation of the Tractatus. In the facsimile, we can see handwritten comments by Wittgenstein. The final item is the proofs of Ogden's bilingual translation of the Tractatus, commented upon, again, by Wittgenstein in the facsimile. If we return to the original menu, the fourth item is Proto-Tractatus Tools. The Proto-Tractatus Tools, edited by Martin Pilch, gives access to new transcriptions of Wittgenstein's Nachlass, items MS-104, containing the so-called Proto-Tractatus, and TS-202, the first typescript of the Tractatus. The transcriptions were produced by Martin Pilch with the aim of providing the best possible textual basis for facilitating the reconstruction of the composition process of the Tractatus text. PTT utilizes a multiplicity of representation formats and color schemes in order to make various aspects of the Tractatus text genesis visible. One can access these items by first clicking on the Metadata tab, and then within the archival notes, clicking on the Link tab. The final item on the left-hand menu is the Wörterbuch für Volksschulen Materials. Here we find items related to the creation and publication history of Wittgenstein's Wörterbuch für Volksschulen, or a dictionary for elementary schools, written while Wittgenstein was a school teacher. At the bottom of the menu on the left, we will find complementary items for each of the above items, which offer detailed information about each item within. In the top left corner, one has the ability to search for keywords throughout the Wittgenstein source. I hope that this video helps you to navigate the Wittgenstein source website. Thank you.